Hello, I am back and I am here to talk about my SummerSlam predictions. This is going to be the first ever 2-night SummerSlam and we're going to be talking about both nights here. Let's go ahead and start with first night. We got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair was a pairing that sort of just happened and it ended up working. It worked so well that now we're getting Charlotte being cheered in 2025. And I, for one, I've always been a Charlotte Flair defender. I've been a Charlotte Flair stan. So for me, I will always cheer my queen. For this one, it is kind of tricky because I know that Liv Morgan had hand surgery, correct? I feel like that's going to take a while to recover. I don't necessarily see her returning here, but it's tricky because I think Raquel and Roxanne should retain. I think Raquel finally found her footing as this big diesel, big character, big giant sort of person. And shout out to Kevin Nash, because I think Kevin Nash lit a fire underneath Raquel's ass because she is broadcasting that. She is on a whole different level. And I really think that Raquel and Roxanne, they're very synchronized. Raquel and Liv Morgan worked well together, but I think Roxanne and Raquel work even better together. Plus, there's a whole Judgment Day story to get there. Does Finn Balor want to break out of the group? Does Dom want to find a new mini mommy? We have no idea. So for that reason, I really think that Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez will retain here. Next up here, we have Gunther versus CM Punk. This one is a little iffy for me because I love Gunther and I love CM Punk. I didn't really see CM Punk holding a championship upon his return. That may be silly of me, but to me, his return was mostly just to main event WrestleMania, and he did that. So I feel like he doesn't need to hold a title until his career is over. And CM Punk is the reason why I started watching WWE again, because I did take a break, but Summer of Punk was incredible and that got me hooked, that got me invested, that got me back into the WWE. So this isn't coming out of hate. I literally just think that CM Punk just wanted a main event WrestleMania. A title would be nice, but do I think that he's going to take that opportunity from somebody like Gunther? No, but even if he does, I'm not going to count it as taking an opportunity away from Gunther. I'll just see it as, you know what, it's CM Punk. And losing to CM Punk doesn't hurt Gunther. But in this case, I don't know now, because they are in New Jersey. This is AJ Lee's hometown. So there is some kind of reverence for CM Punk to win here. Damn. I was going to go with Gunther originally, but let me go ahead and go with CM Punk now. My decision totally changed just based on the location. And I'm not saying she has to be there to celebrate with CM Punk, but that is her home state. So if she does come out to celebrate, that'll be cool too, you know? Next up here is Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't really care about this match. But the first time they presented it, the first time we heard Jelly Roll on the mic, can honestly speak better than some of the talent, not gonna lie. Everything that has been a part of this story, every single delivery, every single segment with it, I'm invested. And it's most likely going to be the most fun match that we do see. I kind of want to resemble that to Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. I feel like it's going to be that kind of match. It's a celebrity match. Sure, we have Jelly Roll. Logan Paul, whether you want to admit it or not, he's a part of the roster. He's a wrestler. So I'm not going to call him a celebrity per se, because at this time, he's a part of the roster, dude, okay? But this being a celebrity match, I kind of see it at the caliber of Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. I don't want to speak for everybody, but then I kind of do, because we're interested in this, right? I know I am. I'm assuming you guys are interested in this. I'm assuming they sold you over this, because we have Drew McIntyre, we have Randy Orton, everything that they're doing outside of the ring too. When they went to Jimmy Fallon, everything that they have been doing, I think it's so precious. I think it's so cool what they're doing. And for this one, I do have to go with Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. I don't necessarily see Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul getting the win over this. Then that means we gotta run this back. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I think it would be a beautiful conclusion to it all of just Jelly Roll and Randy Orton winning. Next up here is Roman Reigns and Jay Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are literally two of my favorite wrestlers right now. When it comes to people that I really like root for, they're the people who are still cementing their legacies. There are people who are still trying to reach reach a certain audience or a certain level to broadcast their talents and tell you, yeah, like I'm going to be that next guy. So this isn't based on me being smart or based on story. I have to go against my little yeet master and I have to go against my tribal chief. But a bitch gotta do what a bitch gotta do, and that's going to be Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Next up here is Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. This has been sort of building up for a while. They kind of teased it earlier this year and we were like, oh my god, is that going to happen? And we're having it now. I don't think that they're going to keep the title on Tiffany Stratton, and this is like no shade to her. I think it was a little preemptive. Not that she's doing a bad job. Do I think putting the title on Jade Cargill is still preemptive? Yes. To be honest, it may be too soon for Jade Cargill, but that's their moneymaker. They debuted her as this huge star, as this huge athlete, which by the way, she is. She's phenomenal. I really think that they're going to give that to Jade Cargill here. And there's a part of me that thinks that Bianca Belair is going to come interfere, cost Jade Cargill, and Tiffany Stratton retains. There's that little nefarious part of me that wants to think that way. Next up is Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. I think they'll pull the trigger on Karrion Kross here. According to the dirt sheets, WWE hasn't approached Karrion or Scarlett for a renewal on their contract. I hope that they're going to be good, and I really think that they will pull the trigger here. I think they're going to have Karrion Kross win to solidify Kross as this like puppeteer, as this master of puppets. I really do think that they have huge plans for Karrion Kross, and I hate to use this terminology because it always pisses me off, but I really think it's a work. I think it's a work of Karrion Kross and Scarlett saying that they haven't been approached, but they really have been approached, just to create more speculation on who wins this match. That being said, I always feel icky talking about, oh, it might be a work, because these are people's jobs and lives. So I always feel icky about talking about stuff like that, but I just hope that I'm right here, and I hope that Karrion Kross has a future in WWE because he damn deserves that. Before we continue with the rest of our video, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Purchase your tickets and get amazing deals. If you use my code MINNIEPORTABLE, you do get $20 off your first purchase. But the best thing about this code is that you can bundle up your ticket. So if you're going with your family, if you're going with friends, if you're going with a group of people and you got 5 tickets, if you use MINNIEPORTABLE, that's $20 off 5 tickets. You are guaranteed $100 off your first purchase. If you have used it before, I'm sure you have another email. Heading over to night 2, we have Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Dominic Mysterio in AAA, he got a huge pop. He's saying that he's going to be a part of Triple Mania and that he's going to be crowned as the new king of Triple Mania. So for me, when it comes to Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles has a phenomenal career, no pun intended, but he has done it all. So do I think that he necessarily is going to get this title? I don't think it hurts AJ Styles to lose against Dominic Mysterio. Also, AJ Styles has won the IC title and he won that against Daniel Bryan. So it's not like a title that he needs on his resume, but I really do think that Dom being sneaky and Dom sort of saying that he's sick and he can't wrestle is to extend this all the way to SummerSlam, because if not, then he would have to defend it. And at that point, if he's defending it against AJ Styles and AJ Styles keeps losing to Dominic Mysterio, then I think that would be like a different kind of storyline. But we're in a position where it just seems like AJ Styles is being Gollum and he just wants the gold and Dom just doesn't want to give that to him. Finally, we're going to have that match at SummerSlam. And I probably would have chose AJ Styles, but the fact that we just saw what Dom did in AAA, I don't think that this is the last gold that Dom is going to be holding. If anything, I feel like we will be seeing maybe 2 or 3 belts Dom. And I do think that he will be winning these titles by being dirty. Also, AJ Styles sort of put over Leon Slater for the X Division title. AJ Styles, after he is done with Dominic Mysterio, I think he's going after that X Division title, because TNA is the house that AJ Styles built. Next up here is Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. I see Tama Tonga coming in here. I see all the fuckery. I see all of Solo's henchmen. I see Jimmy coming out, but I do see Tama Tonga aligning himself with Jacob Fatu. Who wins this? I don't necessarily see Jacob Fatu losing. The last time he lost that title was because of Solo's henchmen, but also Jacob Fatu was out there by himself. So this time around, he's going to be prepared. Not that he needs the henchmen because it's Jacob Fatu, you know? I mean, but I do really think that Tama Tonga will come back and be on his side, and this might be a reach, and it's only a reach because I necessarily don't like to predict like the IWC predicts, especially when it's something that they keep pushing. He might have made a call to Zilla Fatu. I normally don't think that way, but this time I'm kind of like, it kind of makes sense if he did call Zilla Fatu. Next up is Becky Lynch versus Lyra. I don't see Lyra losing to Becky Lynch, but in the same breath, Bayley is nice to her out of nowhere and wants to team up with her. So Bayley could be the one to cost Lyra, but I don't necessarily see why they chose Lyra to go against Becky at SummerSlam if Lyra isn't going to get this title off of Becky. Next up here is John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I want John Cena to hold that title. I'm tired of heel Cena. I am. I'm tired of his shit. I'm tired of him giving us nothing. Listen. Whether he's heel or he brings that back, I still want John Cena to retain. But if he comes back as hustle, loyalty, and respect, the next time he defends that title, he can go ahead and drop it. Who's going to come out and help him retain? Because I don't think it's going to be a clean victory. I have no idea. I know it's not going to be Travis Scott because apparently they don't want to work with Travis Scott anymore. Whoever it is, I want John Cena. And for the finale, we have Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Naomi. It's not even somebody who I am predicting to win. This is somebody who I actually want to win because Naomi was the better part of WWE for so damn long. I watch both AEW and WWE, and for a moment there, people were asking me, what are your favorite storylines? And I would have to choose AEW over WWE. But Naomi, her entire being, everything she has been doing is so important to WWE right now, which is keeping me locked in because there are going to be things like the big names like Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Randy Orton. There's going to be big things revolving those men, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily that interesting to talk about it as your favorite. But Naomi was carrying the WWE for a while, and her social media presence, I mean, I don't know if she took lessons from Drew McIntyre or not, but she did a fantastic job, and I think Naomi should have a good championship reign. That includes Clash in Paris, Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi. I still want Naomi to retain. She's put in the work. She has redefined herself into a whole different character. We don't even recognize her as like the glow Naomi. She is a damn menace and she deserves her flowers, and I hope she stays champion. Also, I did forget that they did add the TLC match this past Friday on SmackDown. We got a lot of tag teams on there. If I forget one, I'm so sorry, but I know that we have DIY, we have the current tag champions White Six, we have MCMG, and we have Rey Fenix and Andrade. The biggest standout and like the coolest one that I have seen, that's Andrade and Rey Fenix. If they give them the titles, I think that would be cool because Andrade is really good when it comes to talking, when it comes to delivering. He just hasn't had the opportunity to do that in a certain capacity. So my prediction here is that they're going to give it to Andrade and Rey Fenix. Also, it only makes sense for them to hold the titles and go and defend it in AAA, and the best way to do that right now would be with two people who understand lucha libre and can speak the language. I mean, we saw El Grande Americano out there, you know, just making people fall in love with him and stuff like that. And that's it for my predictions. Let me know your predictions down below. Let me know if I'm a jabroni for having these predictions. Until next time, bye.